Hello there. Today we are going over to the Ile de la Cité in Paris with stops at the Conciergerie and the Crypte Archéologique. So let's go.
But first, some delicious hotel breakfast. Like, seriously, the most flavorful deli turkey I've ever had. We passed by La Fontaine Saint-Michel on our way over. Staying in the Latin Quarter is just a quick walk down a few streets to get over to L'Ile de la Cité and the Conciergerie. I feel like the Conciergerie gets overlooked when you talk about places to see in Paris, but it was part of a royal palace and then a courthouse and a prison, so there's a lot of history to explore. For the medieval rooms, the histopad was a nice way to see how things would have looked back when the Conciergerie was part of the Palais de la Cité. But probably the reason most people come to see the Conciergerie is because it was a prison during the French Revolution. During the Reign of Terror, the palace was seized, and the Revolutionary Tribunal declared that anyone considered a counter-revolutionary was guilty of treason and would therefore be condemned to death. Hundreds of people were crammed into the cells of the Conciergerie before their sentences were carried out. The most famous prisoner held in the cells of the Conciergerie was Marie Antoinette. When you got to the ground floor, there was an exhibit about her imprisonment, including a number of objects that may have been hers, and a memorial where her cell had been. You could use the histopad here too to see what it would have looked like when she was kept here before her execution. Just outside was a courtyard where the female prisoners would have been brought to get some fresh air and walk around. Today, it features an exhibit on famous female figures from the time of the French Revolution. After we finished checking out the exhibits, we walked around outside of the Conciergerie, where we could see Pont Neuf, the oldest bridge in Paris. We continued walking out to the public garden right on the tip of the island, which was pretty lush and a nice place to just stop and take in the day a little bit. Then, we started making our way over to the area by Notre Dame. The cathedral is still being rebuilt from the fire in 2019 and is currently scheduled to reopen in December of 2024. What is open right now is the Crypte Archéologique, which sits right in front of Notre Dame underground. Before Paris became the city we know today, it was a Gallo-Roman settlement called Lutetia. The Crypte Archéologique houses the foundations of a 4th century fortification built to defend this important port and crossroad for trade. Some highlights were the remains of the first dock built in the 1st century and the bathhouse rooms. They were really awesome. In addition to the ancient ruins, there was also a small photo exhibit around the perimeter showcasing Notre Dame in the time of Victor Hugo, so 19th century. Since we couldn't go into Notre Dame, this was a nice way to learn more about it. And the fact that this is not the first time it has needed to undergo massive restoration work. The crypt rotates exhibits through this space though, so it may not be the same when you visit. Whatever the current exhibit is, it should be listed on the website. At the time we went, the price was only €9 per person. The website says you can reserve a ticket in advance, but the process was a little confusing. It was not crowded at all when we went on a Sunday afternoon, so I think you're probably okay to just get the tickets at the door. It's a fairly small museum, but it's well worth a visit. Even with Notre Dame currently closed, there's no shortage of cool Gothic churches to check out. We headed back to the Latin Quarter to check out the Church of Saint Séverin, which was free to visit. This church was built in the year 1230 and then rebuilt and expanded after a fire starting in the 15th century. It's named after Saint Séverin, a very pious and devout hermit who lived in Paris in the 6th century. During the French Revolution, this church served as a storehouse, but today it's back to being a regular Catholic church. There was actually a christening going on in the front when we visited. The church features some great stained glass windows, but I really enjoyed the extremely detailed wall paintings that surrounded them. The organ dates from 1745 and was classified as a French historic monument in the early 20th century. Overall, this was a beautiful church, perfect for a quick visit, and right nearby, you could pop over and see the oldest tree in Paris at the Square René Viviani, planted in 1601.
So tonight we're going to be going on the Darkest Secrets of Paris walking tour. Good news, it meets right near a Haagen-Dazs, so great to have a snack available while you wait, especially right now because it is unseasonably hot here in Paris in September right now. So yeah, excited to hear about the tour and kind of the seedy underbelly of Paris in the past.
The tour was about 2 hours and covered everything from tragic love stories and cursed houses to ghost children and a morgue that used to drop tourists with viewing windows. In addition to hearing some fun and interesting stories, it was a great way to watch the sun go down over the city. So we just finished up the Dark Secrets of Paris tour with Hannah. She did an amazing job, a lot of great stories, a lot of great history. So yeah, I think we're gonna go grab some dinner and then wrap it up for today. Our guide recommended a restaurant, but it was full, so we ended up at Café Le Petit Pont. It was a little touristy, but the food was actually pretty good. The desserts came out with sparklers on them, so that was fun. But this was the only restaurant we went to that asked if we wanted to leave a tip. This is not at all common, but I guess they figured since we were American, why not?
All right, we've made it back to Hotel Atmosphère, so I think that's going to do it for us today. I hope you found these destinations truly illuminating, and when you are ready to plan your trip to Paris, don't hesitate to get in touch with me, Tracy Sylvia, with Key to the World Travel, to plan your next trip. And yeah, I guess we'll see you real soon. Bye.